Hey guys, Sword here, and this is going to be Operation Dome number 63, the 63rd episode of the Operation Dome series. A series where my friends and I, we're going to encase the entire world in glass and glass panes, and we still got a lot of work to do. And yeah, it's going to be a broken record at this point. Then I'm still going, I'm still trying, got to collect a lot of sand, got to collect a lot of birch wood to make some charcoal, to make the sand into glass, and to make it glass into glass panes, and then go up to the ceiling, and then start filling up the world. That we're going to do it as like a cube, not as a sphere, because if we were to do a sphere, one little small mistake and we would have to start over, and that's going to be very hard and very difficult and very frustrating. So rather than dealing with all that, we're going to make it simple and just make it a giant cube. You could already see it from here. You could see where we're at right now. You already see a little bridge that's going on to the other section because I'm doing it in quadrants. This is how I do it. I usually do it in a small pattern that we have one quadrant, the other quadrant, and the last two quadrants. We just work at that little by little. But currently, we are going to need some more sand. And over here, this all used to be desert. This whole entire area that you see green right now, that this used to be desert. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Look at that, sandstone. There's a lot of sandstone here. We took away a lot of the sand, and then we just put dirt on top of it so that we could actually make it look pretty rather than being a gigantic wasteland. The only thing that's really annoying at this point are the Endermen. Whenever they come by, they always take a block and then they just leave it there. They take a block, they move it to a different spot, and then it just reveals the small little blemishes like this one right here. God dang Endermans. They really annoy me with that, honestly, that they do. But right here, you already get to see what we're working on right now in this little small area, that we are getting rid of a lot of the sand and we're replacing it with dirt and some grass blocks so we could get more animals to spawn in, and of course it will look pretty. Rather than having so many gray little spots right there as you see on the map, it will be all green. A great portion of it, at least 85% of the land on the surface, is made out of sand, and then of course you have everything in below of the oceans that we could get more sand from, and we could replace that with dirt so that it doesn't look too much of a mess. And of course the suction won't actually get you down whenever you try to swim under there. So we're going to work with that little by little. We're going to have to remove all the ice as well. That's going to be interesting. I wonder what we could actually use to get rid of ice even quicker. Maybe Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4 pickaxes. That could be a thing. So we got that going on. This will be a river once we get all the dirt blocks here and just surround it. Or not a river, a pond or a lake, however you want to call it. But we have all that going on. Just all my friends are either on the Xbox One, they have school, they're not really doing anything anymore. So I'm usually by myself working on it little by little as I am working on it while updating and as well as editing my other videos that I take so long to record. That I do have another series going on, which of course is Pixelmon. And if you guys don't know, is that it's Pokemon in the world of Minecraft combined with the server so that you could join people and join the community and talk to other people, have fun playing the game. Just mainly you could build, you could capture Pokemon, you could trade people, you could train, you could make yourself well known on the server. That is what it is really. If you'd like to join us on the server is called mvblock.org. That's the server name, and you can have to download 3.4.0 of Pixelmon and have the Forge mod version of 7.10, or sorry, 1.7.10, last ending 4 numbers in 1230. That everything will be linked in the description below so you can check it out for yourself, download it, and then play on the server. Just tell them that Fox sent you, because I'm an advertiser on the server and I try to do my best to help the server grow. So it's going to be an advertisement on Operation Bedrock and Operation Dome. That's just how it's going to go for a bit. That's all I got to say for that. Just going to try to keep it under a minute so that I don't really annoy you with every single episode trying to advertise it. But what else can I really say that happened this week? One thing that actually did happen this week, that I was working in my backyard. For those who don't know, that I'm taking 1 hour out of every other day to actually work at the backyard. We have 2 to 3 tons of rock. Short and short, my mother wanted it in the backyard, and then 3 years later, after we paid for it, after I placed half the rocks there, we got another person setting down the rocks. 3 years later, that I decided, like, dude, we need to get the rocks out. Honestly, that the backyard is already a mess as it is, and we can't clean up the backyard because all the sticks and all the leaves are on top of the rocks, and you can't really pick that up with a leaf blower because you're going to pick up all the other small rocks, and then you could actually destroy the leaf blower that way. They do have a suction, you know, but is that it's impossible to clean the backyard at this point, especially when the dogs do their business all over the rocks. I gotta clean it up after them, use a little bit of a rake, a little pooper scooper rake, and I pick up the rocks as well. So little by little, I'm throwing a lot of rocks away. I'm not gonna spend the time to actually separate the poop from the rocks. It's just not gonna be worth it, and it's just gonna be more frustrating to have to deal with that. Literally, you're gonna have to deal with poop. And I'm just censoring myself here because I don't swear in my videos. But other than that, I wanted to get rid of it, and my father wanted to get rid of it. It took like probably like 5 minutes to convince my mother to actually get rid of it, because one of the things I did say is that the dogs do not like it. Of course, they're not going to say anything. The dogs can't say anything. But can you imagine walking on your hands and feet on top of red rocks? Yeah. I don't think the dogs will actually appreciate that for a long time. They probably get used to it, but they can't really complain. They have to go in the backyard. They have to do their business. Otherwise, they can't do it, and then they can't do it in the house because they'll get in trouble for that. Of course, they sometimes do it inside the house, but my parents don't even punish them for that at this point, unless they would actually step on it barefooted. But my mother would never, my mother would not punish a dog. My father and myself will actually punish the dogs so that they don't actually do it anymore in the house. That's how you get them to stop people. It's just like spanking, but we're not going to get into that. There's a controversial all over that. Just let's say that I've been spanked when I was young, and I do believe that spanking actually does work and stopping your child from being a spoiled brat, or at least it's disciplining them. People get that confused with abuse, but I'm just not gonna continue on with that because that's another topic for another day. Not in Operation Bedrock. Back to the story. Back to what I was saying. That I was working on the backyard. I was helping out, actually removing all the rocks, and then I saw a dog just run on by. It's like, oh, not again. One of the things is that beforehand, there was a dog that actually got loose from the neighbor's house, so I went over there, picked up the dog. It was scared out of its mind because he had no idea where it's at or who I am in particular. So what I did was I picked up the dog, I took him inside the house, and then I just put him on the bed and just let him calm down for about a good 15 minutes. So once it's calm, once it trusts me, then I picked it up and then I started looking for the owner. And then it turns out that the owner was just pretty much on the other side of the block, on the opposite side. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not really good with the directions, but it was not on our block, it was in the other block. Okay, let's go with that. Then there were 4 children that says, thank you, where did you find them, where did you find them, and all that good stuff, all the questions in the world that they had to ask me, because of course they're young and then they're going to keep asking the same question over and over and over. So I just helped them out. It's like, it's fine, it just was in the front yard. I took them inside, calmed them down, and then here they are, here he is. So that's all well and handy dandy. And then the other day, a dog came out, and pretty much I thought it was their dog again, but when I went outside and then looked around, apparently there was a different dog that actually got loose. So I'm like, okay. So I picked up the dog. It was actually a little bit timid, and then I was able to calm it down after a while. But here's the thing, that apparently that the parents did not actually discipline this dog. No, they did not. This is where it kind of actually links in, because when I tried to pick up the dog again, it started growling, and then it actually bit me. Not once, but twice, and it was a hard enough bite to actually draw blood. So it bit my thumb. And when I told my father that, he said you should have smacked the dog, because due to the fact that if it bites you and you smack it, then the dog will know that it should not bite you. Because if it bites you, then he will know that you will actually strike back. And that's actually pretty true. He's actually done that to a few dogs as well, that he doesn't care who the owner is, but if that dog actually bites someone, or if it bites my father, then he'll actually get smacked to let the dog know that that is not acceptable. Dogs do it all the time to each other. They actually test each other out. They try to do a little bit of nits, like a little biting, and then once the dog says that they're not gonna have it, then that's how they actually gain respect of the other dog, like as an alpha male type of deal. It happens in the wild, and of course if you don't actually allow discipline to your dogs, then it will actually start biting anyone and everyone. You wouldn't want that dog to bite a child, because it actually did bite the child. Because when I actually brought it out back to the other block, the 4 children actually said, where'd you find this dog? This is actually our neighbors. And the first thing that they actually ask is, did it bite you? Because it actually bit one of the smaller children. So yeah, that is a bad deal. Honestly, if you were to think about it, if they did not discipline that dog and if it kept biting people, they would actually have to put it down. This is where discipline actually is absolutely necessary. Then yeah, would you rather have the dog put down or actually disciplined for it to know that it is not okay to bite people? Feel free to answer that in the comment section below. Let's bring a little bit of controversy into that. I did not think that this episode would go to this point, but it is something that has happened. The dog bit me and the dog bit the other children, but that's not where it ended there. That afterwards, that when I brought the dog, it's like, okay, let's go to the backyard. Apparently got out from the fence. That it was just a gap of a gate. I'm not too sure. It's a back gate that the doorknob was actually really rusted, that anyone could have actually opened the door from the outside or the inside. Even though it's locked, all you have to do is just shake it up a bit, then you're able to go inside. And that's exactly what I did. And the guy actually had, or the neighbors, they weren't even home. I actually walked into a neighbor's backyard, or a stranger's backyard, because I never even met them in the first place. So I walked into a stranger's backyard and I barricaded the gate. So that was said and done, and the dog was there. He was sitting and relaxing and all that stuff. And then I had to jump the wall because there's no other way out. So when I jumped the wall, apparently one of the cinder blocks on that wall was actually loose. Apparently they didn't actually go with the proper procedures of actually building a wall way back when. My god, people are getting lazier and lazier by the day, and thank god it didn't hit anyone other than me. Honestly, it did hit me. So as I jumped down, the block got loose. Apparently that the cement that was supposed to be holding it broke off, so they did a lousy job on building the wall, and it actually struck my left arm. It hit my left arm. And it hurt, like it really hurt. I was not expecting that, and then the block fell into the ground. But like I said, thank God that the children was not actually close to me while that happened. And one thing is that it was only 1 foot away from actually hitting my head. Think about that for a while. I did not realize it till later on. It's like, wow, I came so close to actually dying. Because I don't know about you, but I don't know anyone who would survive I don't know how heavy a cinder block is. Like, I would say probably 15 pounds, maybe. Because it was actually pretty heavy when I was actually trying to pick it up and put it back on the wall. That's what I did. I forgot to tell them that the block actually fell over. I think that he actually saw it, and then he's going to do something about that. But either way, fault in the building system, I guess. But it was just 1 foot away from actually striking my head, and either I would have been unconscious or I could possibly die from that. Good to know, right? I'm lucky to be alive if you were to think about that. I guess some of the trolls says, dang it, I wish it was dead, but oh well, I'm still here. If you want to bother me, then go right on ahead, because apparently that's giving you life purpose, that I'm here just for you to make fun of me. Yeah, I got a purpose now, and you don't. Teehee. Oh well, let's move on. Okay, so that has happened. Now that the mother of the 4 children actually came out, and she was actually a little bit annoyed. Not because of me, not because of the children, or maybe because of the children, because what they actually did was that they accidentally left the light on for an extended amount of time on their vehicle, and they had to go somewhere. So what happens if you were to leave your lights on in your car? It actually drains the battery, so their car wouldn't start. Then they asked me for help, and I'm like, okay, let's see if I have any jump cables or spark plugs, however you want to call them. I don't know anything about cars. So this was a brand new experience for me, that I had to look for the jump cables or or whatever it is, spark plugs. I'm going to call them spark plugs. If that's what it is, please let me know in the comment section below. So I'm just going to call it that for now on, because it has a positive, a negative, and you use it to jumpstart your car. Okay, so with the spark plugs, I didn't have any. I had to go to my neighbor's house, and he had to remember whether or not he actually did have some, and he did. And the thing is that it was just, I would not say cheap, but it was just a basic emergency, like, little spark plug that you could actually use. No, it's not a spark plug. I just realized it's not a spark plug. I don't even know what it's called. Is it called jump cables or jumper cables? I don't even know anymore. Again, I don't know anything about cars. This is all new to me. So I would say jumper cables, because jump start. Okay, let's go with that. I know I'm being stupid right now, but I'm trying to tell my story here. I'm not that good right now. So with the jumper cables, I was able to actually go to the neighbor's house and then try to actually help them out. I had to call my father because I had no idea actually how to do this, because again, it's all brand new to me, and the last thing I want to do is actually make a mistake that would cost thousands of dollars if I were to actually mess up a great deal, especially when it has to deal with my truck and their vehicle. So I was taking the precaution side. I was being safe with this. I'm not going to just jump in there not knowing what to do. So I was careful with that. And the thing is that my battery on my truck was on the left side, and their battery on their SUV type of vehicle, I'm not really too sure what it is, maybe a Tahoe, but it was on the right side. So after some maneuvering, after trying to actually back up or try to actually get my truck in the carport to help them out, but apparently the cable was too short, I actually had to help them out as pushing the vehicle onto the street, and then I had to drive all the way around the vehicle just for me to put in the jumper cables and then start up the car. So that has happened. She thanked me and she gave me $5 for the trouble. Now, later on, that what happened during while I was trying to get the jumper cables, the dog got out again. So I took the dog and I left him in my truck while I was actually working with actually trying to jumpstart the other car. So the dog was calm. He actually did, I don't know, he didn't actually growl that time anymore, but that, again, it did bit me. I have 2 bite marks on my thumb and it's scabbing over right now, but that's fine. So after I helped jumpstart the car, I go park in front of the neighbor's house, and then I went ahead and put the dog back in the backyard, and then I took all of the spots. Like, I wanted to see how the dog got out that time. It is smart. When I barricaded the first time, I did not realize that it was actually going to jump onto it and go through the gate, because it is the back gate has the gaps in the railing that it was just wide enough for the dog to actually squeeze on through. So that has happened. So when I actually saw it come on through, it's like, oh, no. You go back in there. I go down in there. I go down to the backyard again and barricaded it even further. I hit the little isolation shield. I apologize. But I barricaded it once more, and I barricaded to the point where it was not able to escape. And when I left, he was actually crying a bit. I kind of felt bad for him. I don't know if they did not give him enough attention, or it's just mainly it just has that anxiety, whatever that it just, I forgot what the terminology it is. Separation anxiety, that's the word. Maybe it has separation anxiety, but I knew in the back of my head it's like their family's gonna return home soon. And sure enough, when I walked down through the driveway, or not the driveway, is it the driveway? I don't even know anymore. I was just walking down through the spot, and I see that their vehicle pulls in. It's like, okay, yep, that's a family. So they were kind of hesitant to actually come out of the car because, of course, a stranger just walked through the driveway. It is a driveway, isn't it? I was thinking of drive-through because, you know, working at a fast food restaurant. Yeah, so the driveway. I walked down the driveway and I explained to them that the dog got out twice, and I had to barricade their backyard twice. The father actually checked the backyard, and one of the first questions he asked me is that, did he bite you? Yeah, they even know that the dog bites. So they're going to have to actually do something about that, as I said earlier, because if it keeps biting people, then they're going to have to put the dog down because of the temperament problems. That is not a good deal. It's a small dog, yes, but still. They can't have that actually biting people, because anyone who is not part of the family or anyone else, if that dog bites them, they could get in major trouble for that. So they have to discipline their dog. And especially when they just said, like, okay, he kept getting out, we're going to have to actually tie him to the backyard. So whenever they leave the house, they have to tie him up in the backyard so he won't escape again. I haven't even seen the dog escape afterwards, but still, it was kind of awkward to actually explain to them that I literally went into their backyard without permission and barricaded their backyard, or at least at the door, so that I could actually jump over the wall and then leave the dog there because it got out twice. It did bit me twice, and I did tell them that one of the blocks on the wall actually fell and hit my arm. They didn't really say anything about that. They didn't even ask if I was okay, but it's like, yeah, this happened. I helped you out, and now I'm just gonna go. You could deal with whatever you need to deal with at this point. I don't know if they said thank you or anything like that, but that's just the end of that story. That I got hurt. I probably nearly almost died helping a neighbor out getting their dog back, but at the same time I was able to help out the neighbor that helped me out by telling me where the dog belonged to, and I helped them out the other day by returning their dog. So everything is just linked together now, isn't it? I was able to learn how to jumpstart a car for the first time, so I'm very happy that I was able to have that knowledge, and I was very grateful that they thanked me for that, and they even gave me $5. I used that $5 to pay someone off anyways, so everything worked out in the end. Happy ending, everybody. Maybe not for the dog that I rescued twice, because he's going to be tied back to the backyard, and maybe they'll actually finally discipline them if it gets out again. And if I go up to it, I'm going to be prepared, because if it actually bites me again, I'm going to actually smack it. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to hurt a dog, but if it hurts me, then it has to know that it's not okay, because if you don't discipline it, then it's gonna do it again because it knows like, oh, I could bite him and then he's not gonna do anything. You guys already know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just, you try to push as much as buttons as you can because you know that for a fact that they're not going to do something about it. You could annoy them, you could do whatever you want. If they don't retaliate or if they don't do anything about it, then you're just going to keep doing it over and over and over again. Yeah, I'm guilty of that, but I've just played jokes on my friends at times. It's like, I'm not touching you, I'm not doing anything, and then I get punched in the face. Yeah. Well then. That is something interesting that has happened while I'm just mindlessly either digging up some sand blocks or just running around in a circle, because whenever I'm on the roll, then I kind of forget what I'm doing. It's sometimes easier to actually do Operation Bedrock because I'm just going straight on forward without having to go back and forth all the time. And usually whenever I go back and forth, it's just to the straight line all the way to the chest to drop off some stuff and then come back. But that's what happened. That's kind of interesting for what has happened throughout the week. The backyard is looking nicer and nicer. Just of course, it's all dirt now, mostly dirt. A lot of the rocks are actually buried underneath about probably maybe like half a foot down into the ground. So I'm gonna have to dig that up and separate the rocks from the dirt and then place the dirt back into the ground so that we can get rid of the rocks once and for all. Thing is that I've been piling up in the back just mounds and mounds and mounds, and one day I'm gonna have to do that all over again and move all the rocks into a loading spot, and then we got to remove the rocks, probably dump it back somewhere or give it away or probably sell it, maybe that hopefully they'll accept the fact that it's a little bit dirty with all the rocks that have been stored up for a good 3 years before I decided to actually do something about it. But who knows what's gonna happen. But once we get rid of the rocks, we can at least have the backyard that we've always wanted. We'll be able to plant the grass in the backyard. We'll be able to actually step foot barefooted, actually go outside barefooted onto the grass and not have to worry about hurting our feet with the red rocks. The dogs will be happy. They're already happy that they're able to actually just squat down and do their business without putting too much pressure on their feet on top of the rocks. I think they truly appreciate that, because can you imagine just standing on top of the rocks just for barefooted for about maybe a minute? It would hurt. It will hurt. I cannot imagine the dogs actually dealing with that for a good 2 years. 2 to 3 years even, because of all the other dogs that have been partially new to the backyard. But I digress. Wait, was it 3 years? We've had the rocks way before then. Oh my god. Was it 5 years maybe? I don't even remember, because I remember Star actually going in the backyard, and we still had the rocks back then, and Star's already over 3 years old. We've had those rocks for a very long time. Yeah, it makes sense. I think we've had those rocks for probably 5 years, actually. I've been wrong. What else do I not know about my life? Well then, that has happened. I'm doing an operation in the backyard, and I've been doing an Operation Dome and Operation Bedrock. Just few of the people from Envy Block actually did offer to help me out if they get Xbox Live, so let's see if they'll be able to join me in the server as well. I don't know if you would actually count this as a server or a saved world, but who knows, that hopefully they'll be able to help me out more often, than I'll be able to do some Minecraft on the PC and as well as Minecraft on the Xbox 360, because I know for a fact, I'm going to talk about this in Operation Bedrock, I know for a fact that things have been slowing down. People have pointed it out before me that I really don't want to burn out with all these episodes without any progress, and I really don't want to quit, but at the same time I really don't want to see you guys just saying that we're not doing any more progress by the week. I just need to prioritize. I need to get things done. Otherwise then, this is not going to be finished anytime soon. Honestly, it will not be. But it's really, really difficult for me right now. A lot of things have been going on. A lot of things that I need to work and change and try to get things done. So I'm just going to have to ask for you guys' patience. I know I've asked this more than once, but I'm really going to have to ask for your patience on this one. Hopefully that I'll be able to pick myself up with all the things that have been going on so far. And then let's just hope that things will work out in the end. Just mainly, one of the things I've been mainly focused on, and I'm guilty of this, that I've been focusing a lot on Pixelmon. I'm having so much fun in the community. If you guys want to talk to me, you can talk to me on that server. Just join us on envyblock.org. If you already have PC on, or if you already have Minecraft on the PC, then it's perfect. Just download the mod. You'll have a lot of fun. It's a great community. All we ask for you to do is just respect the rules. Do not cheat. Do not steal. Do not grief. do not disrespect the players and moderators, the staff, and myself, and anybody else around who joins the server for the first time. Just go on there, build some stuff, capture some Pokemon, talk to people, and have fun. And I want to say this right now, if you do join the server, and if you say that you watch my videos, I'll be thankful for that. But just keep in mind that if I'm busy, then I am busy. Just please understand that. If I'm working on something else, or if I'm working on my videos, whenever I have to talk or answer back, it actually stops me from actually working on my videos in the form of looking at it during Adobe Premiere and just editing pieces here and there. It takes a while. I literally actually like rewatch my whole entire episode so that nothing goes wrong, and if I need to do a jump cut, I'll be able to do a jump cut. Otherwise, then you're just gonna hear just either me breathing or that I'm just gonna be just moving around in my chair. You don't want to hear that in the background, especially if it's going to be silent for about a good like maybe 3 to 5 seconds. You just don't want to hear that in the background. So that is one of the things that I actually do on Pixelmon and then do on Operation Bedrock and Operation Dome. I'm just doing a little bit of jump cuts here and there. If I talk for so long and I need to take a breather, then I'll take a breather. If I need to take a water break, I'll take a water break, and just cut that out so you don't even get to hear it, so that it doesn't bother you. It bothers me if it actually, or it does bother me to actually hear it for myself, so that's why I don't want to actually have it bother you. And if I were to do a live stream, that's going to be a different story. I'm going to have music in the background, so at least it's going to mute most of the sound effects that I do, either just moving in my chair or getting something to drink or something along the matters of that. I can just mute my mic while the music's still playing, but that if I ever go back to live stream, then I will do so. Who knows? Maybe live stream Operation Bedrock and Operation Dome from time to time gets me more motivated to actually come back to it. Then I'll get to talk to you guys and talk to anyone else who's in the party, whether it be on Skype or whether it be on Xbox. Who knows? Maybe we'll see a lot of old friends. I got a lot of things I need to do. I got a lot of things I want to do that I'm gonna try to do. I really hope that this year is still gonna be the year that my channel will grow, and if so, then hooray. If not, then I'm not gonna count on it to actually be making a living. That I'm still gonna stay back with my primary job. Maybe I'll get a new job. Who knows what things will happen in the future, but let's just hope everything just works out for the end for all of us. So I'm gonna have to cut this episode short because I really have nothing to say, so I'm just gonna advertise the server once more, and then I'm gonna end off the video. So if you want to join us on NVBlock, then that's the server name, nvblock.org. It's going to be the server on Minecraft. All you have to do is download 3.4.0 of Pixelmon thus far and have the Forge mod version of 1.7.10, last four ending numbers in 1230. And that's all going to be down in the description below, so you could click on it, you could download it, you could set it up and join us on the server. Just have fun and respect the rules and the people inside the server. So we got that going on. Thank you guys for watching my videos. Hope that you enjoyed the story that I actually had to say. Just let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about the story? What do you think about the things I've said in the story? I like to hear, or I like to read the feedback that you guys will give me. I read all the comments, I just don't always respond to all of them. So yeah, that's the thing. If 2 people or 3 people say the same thing, and if I answer one, then I kind of just say like, hey, I've already answered the guy's question, so look at the answer that I've already posted. So I'm going to end it off here before I just ramble on too much. Have a great day, everyone. I'm SorkingZero90, and as always, I will see you in the next video.